Alrighty, guys, welcome to part one of the shit show where we have a large wedge tornado on the ground here in Nebraska. This is a PDS tornado warning. That's how we're going to start things out today. If you guys are here in, I guess it's pronounced as Highness, Nebraska, this is a large confirmed wedge tornado on the ground here, guys, in western Nebraska. We got a lot to talk about over the next 6 hours. Guys, I'm going to be on here till 1 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know this now. I'm going to be on here until 1 a.m. We have a lot to talk about. We have severe weather to cover tonight, but we have a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about. I've been kind of waiting on getting on stream until things started to get going. Today was a little bit of a questionary day in terms of if severe weather is going to fire off or not, and we're already overperforming what the models were showing. Actually, the models didn't even have storms in this area today, so we're already overperforming. So a lot of my questions have been answered in terms of what tomorrow is going to look like. I had a lot of questions. If you guys watched my video this morning, this afternoon, I had a lot of questions in general about what was going to be happening, and my questions have been answered. So we'll talk about what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow here in just a few minutes. So I want to get you guys going here. We have a confirmed large tornado on the ground here. This is once again a PDS tornado warning. We have got, I believe, hold on 2.5 seconds here, and I will give you guys counties because WSV3 does not show counties for whatever reason. We need to get that fixed. All right, this is going to be for Cherry, Grant, Garden, and Sheridan County, Nebraska. So those are your 4 counties that are under this. This is once again a PDS tornado warning. This is a confirmed large and dangerous tornado that is on the ground. And you guys can clearly see the hook echo that is with this storm here. It is a nasty, nasty storm. We'll go and we'll look at velocity. This thing looks very, very impressive on velocity. This does have, I believe, a CC on it as well. We're going to go gate to gate shear and take a look at this. And this is astonishing. I told you guys in the video today, if any storms can become surface-based and produce a tornado, the threat for long-track violent tornadoes would be at play for today, and we're exactly seeing that happen. This storm went from a hail producer to a surface-based storm and is now producing an extremely large tornado. So models suck today. They absolutely suck. We are going back to the old school measures and forecasting weather with the old way to do it, and that's going to be textbook classic dryline setups. Never ever again am I going to doubt a dryline setup in the plains. I can promise you guys that. So once again, it's just ridiculous amount of gate-to-gate shear here. We're looking at least 88 over 72. We're probably looking at about 150 plus mile an hour winds around this tornado potentially right now. So this is a significantly large tornado that is in progress here, headed into Hyannis, Nebraska, I believe is how you pronounce this here. So, guys, I'll get to other storms here in a few minutes. This is our concern right now, this large confirmed tornado on the ground. This is, once again, observed. This is moving northeast at 13 miles per hour. This is causing substantial damage from what I've seen as of now. Let me double check on something here. Bear with me here. Oh, we do have some chasers that are in on this thing. Yeah, this thing is huge. Oh my goodness graciouses. Guys, we will have storm chasers tomorrow, by the way, for all of y'all. We will be covering the whole entire event tomorrow from start to finish. We will have 2 storm chasers tomorrow, guys. I am super, super excited about that. So we will actually have footage going on tomorrow as these storms are happening. So, is Reed on this is my question. I didn't see that he was on it. Let me see. I think he's headed towards it. Yeah, Reed's in Texas. Yeah, Reed's not on that. So I know he's probably mad that he's not in Nebraska, but anyways. Once again, guys, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground here doing damage, and we've actually got another supercell to the south of it and another one here to the east of it, and a couple up here as well. So, once again, this is a confirmed large wedge tornado on the ground doing damage here, headed towards Hyannis. Eventually, this is going to head towards Mullen, Seneca, and Thedford, Nebraska. We do have a tornado watch that is over this, small area here, so we'll be kind of keeping you guys updated on this. What an interesting setup. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings to the north here and a couple down here in Texas. I'll get to those here in a minute. We're going to stay focused on this storm here until it either expires or at least tries to recycle. Where is my handy dandy pin app out? So I can actually draw here. Guys, I'm going to answer questions on tomorrow in a little bit. We've got a lot to talk about tomorrow. So when we don't have PDS tornado warnings, I will talk about tomorrow. So Cherry, Grant, Garden, and Sheridan County, guys, here in Nebraska, please be seeking shelter. This is a violent tornado that is on the ground doing damage. So we'll go back to that reflectivity here. This is a very impressive looking storm. Very, very impressive. So once again, this is where that tornado is going to be at. You can see a hook echo feature. You can see that debris signature. This tornado is doing damage. It is on its way east here towards Hyannis, Nebraska. I believe is how you pronounce this. I wonder if they're going to add a small enhanced risk up here once the Storm Prediction Center updates in about 30 minutes. I think that they would. That would be probably the smart option. We're going to have to see if they do it. Guys, this is a show or a sign of what is to come tomorrow. I hope you guys are ready for this tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to see a lot of this happening. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, this is going to be what happens across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri tomorrow. This is just a glimpse of what is to come for tomorrow, and I need you guys to be very, very much prepared for tonight and for tomorrow. I'm going to talk about risk zones for tonight, and I'll talk about risk zones for tomorrow once this warning expires, or at least once we get close to this thing potentially falling apart. But we're about to watch something really interesting happen once again. If you guys remember the other day when we were covering storms in Texas, we had what's called the nudge theory or the merging theory. It's basically an idea when you have a strong supercell moving towards another supercell that's a little bit less lesser in size, lesser in severity, it typically will merge with that, and then you can get what's called an outflow dominant to an inflow dominant merging effect, and you can allow for that tornado to actually strengthen pretty briefly into a pretty significant tornado, not like we've already got one here. So we're going to have to watch if this inflow is either going to feed the other storm or if it's going to feed the one that's tornado warned. This is going to be quite an interesting thing to watch here as these storms merge. Not very often we get a merge happening, so the fact that we actually have 3 supercells, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the models, pretty much every single model run was only showing like 1 or 2 storms in this area. We've got about 5 or 6. So I've got a lot to break down with you guys today. So I need y'all to be patient with me tonight. We're gonna be on here until about 1 a.m. Central Time. That's gonna be for the next 5 to 6 hours. I'm gonna stay on here until the day 1 and day 2 outlook come in from the Storm Prediction Center at 1 a.m. Central Time. So you guys have me for a while. So I need y'all to breathe. We're gonna cover severe weather. We're gonna talk about tonight. We're gonna talk about tomorrow. We're gonna talk about every other damn day going towards the rest of this week, because starting today, as of now, we are basically in a multi-day severe weather outbreak setup, and tomorrow has the potential to be a significant tornado outbreak across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So we got a lot to talk about. So we're gonna be here for a while, chatting with you guys. Yeah, so currently right now the storm's tracking northeast here. So at least as of right now, we got 2-inch hail now in Nebraska. So where'd it go? There we go. Yeah, so this would be kind of the direction here towards Nolan, north of Thedford here, kind of splitting. They're going to have to probably extend this watch if this storm moves pretty slowly. What are we, 13 miles per hour, I believe? Yeah, this thing is very slow, very slow. Got a couple of 2-inch hailstorms up here. I'm very impressed right now with this whole setup so far. Minnesota has a chance for some storms tonight. Your main event is tomorrow. That's what I'm waiting for, Connor. We're going to have to see. The models, not a single model run. None of the cams, none of the short range, none of the middle range had any type of convection in Oklahoma tonight. So we're going to see if that happens, because there's a risk zone in Oklahoma. So this is what we call a dry line setup. Dry line setups are known for notoriously making model runs look like shit in water on pen and paper. So it basically allows them to not show anything because of how hard it is for models to calculate what's going to happen with these setups. So that's why, like I said, if you guys were watching my video this morning, I mentioned multiple times that the next 48 hours, today's setup and tomorrow's setup, is what we call conditional, meaning storms may fire, storms may not fire, and the models didn't really have storms firing, and now we've got storms firing, so clearly you guys can see what was right and what was wrong. And that just makes tomorrow's magnitude of storm potential kind of increase a little bit more, at least in my terms of things. I had a lot of questions going into today and going into tomorrow. I told y'all basically in the video for tomorrow that we could be looking at nothing. We could be looking at a tornado outbreak. That's just kind of where things sit at. So we could be looking at a very, very significant and historical storm tomorrow if everything comes together, which is the big concern. We got Minneapolis. We have so many populated areas tomorrow under the gun. We have a tornado risk that basically goes from the Canada line all the way down to central Texas. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's going to be a very long day tomorrow. We're going to probably be on here for about 14 to 16 hours tomorrow. And then we got severe weather on Tuesday. We got severe weather on Wednesday. We have severe weather on Thursday. We might get a break on Friday and Saturday, and then we're going to be right back at this again next week. So, we're going to be busy. It's that time of the year. This is probably going to be one of the most active stretches of severe weather that we've been in all year long. So I just need y'all to buckle up, be ready to go, and be patient with me. Like I said, I'm only one person, so I can only answer so much. Do we have any mesoscale discussions on anything here? I'm just kind of reading briefly for a second. I will briefly run over watches really quickly. This tornado watch that is out here for portions of southern South Dakota and western Nebraska here is out until 11 p.m. Mountain Time, midnight Central. So we got a pretty good amount of time to watch for this area here for supercells to fire off in, and clearly they're doing that. I wouldn't be shocked to see this get expanded further east as these storms progress further east as well. So something we're really going to have to watch here. And then we've got that severe thunderstorm watch up here. Now, there's more confidence in there being storms up near where our low pressure system is at. The closer you are to your low, the better shot you have of there being storms firing off. So southeast Montana, southern portions, southwestern portions of North Dakota here under that watch here until 1 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So we've got a while to go here. Low-end tornado risk, looking at more wind and hail here, and then western portions of South Dakota. So those are the watch areas right now. We currently don't have any watches down in Texas for the storms that are firing off there. I want to show you guys something. These are what's called violent tornado parameters. You guys see this right here. This is not something you guys get to see very often because it's very hard to get these setups that do this. This is basically all of our tornado parameters are maxed out. If there is a scale where the models can show, how high tornado parameters are on a given day. This is mesoscale. Mesoscale maxes these tornado out parameters out basically from the Texas Panhandle all the way up into portions of western Nebraska. And we have a storm right up here in those higher tornado parameters. So what I'm getting at is any storms that can fire off tonight on this dry line will have the threat for a significant and possible violent tornado. And we're, like I said, we're already seeing that happen. So you guys are seeing a glimpse of that right now, and we're watching these two supercells merge. So seeing what's going to happen here is going to be quite interesting. That's what I told you guys. If you're, these risk zones are something you need to take seriously. We've got a risk zone, a marginal risk that goes from southern Texas, Mexico line all the way up here into Minnesota. I don't think we're going to get widespread significant tornadoes up here. These storms should start to die out as the sunset happens and as the night progresses here. But really up here along that dry line, basically from western Oklahoma Panhandle, northern Texas, all the way up into western Kansas, western Nebraska, western South Dakota, and North Dakota is where those higher chances are going to be. But regardless of what risk zone you're in, you need to be taking this very, very seriously. Does not matter. Ohio will be on Tuesday. We'll answer those questions later on as well. Sorry, I was texting my brother back real quick. Okay. All right, let's go look back here at velocity and see what we're looking at. Yeah, this is still a pretty significant tornado. Let's see what our winds are here. 59 in, 35 out, so about 90. What's KD8 showing? Golly, these gate-to-gate winds are all over the place, too. So once again, guys, Hyannis, Nebraska, under this tornado warning right now. PDS tornado warning still in effect. So this is once again still a significantly large tornado on the ground, at least as of right now. Yep, it's still observed. 3-inch diameter hail with this as well. This thing is producing some ridiculous hail. Huge, huge hail. I really think we're gonna get a violent tornado out of this again here in a minute once these two cells finish merging. We got to watch this too. This little southern one, you get the winds that come out from these southern storms, and they can actually help rotate these storms' inflow on the northern side as well. So just a lot of things that go into this. Yes, Des Moines going to get storms tomorrow. I can promise you that. Yes, I think Des Moines got a pretty decent chance of getting some storms tomorrow. All right, let me go back here into this thing. How come models don't show anything? Models are not great with dry line setups. I mentioned that a few minutes ago. The models weren't even showing this today. Like we are seeing storms that were not on any model runs today. That's why you can't trust models every time you want to forecast weather. You have to go based off of instinct, and you have to go based off of basic meteorology. If a setup's there, if the ingredients are there for severe weather, there's a chance for it happening. This is a conditional risk zone, and we're seeing that happen. That's why I'm saying, if you're in risk zones tomorrow, do not sleep on tomorrow. You need to be prepared. I cannot stress that enough to you guys. If you're in southern Minnesota tomorrow, I would be, storms could fire off as soon as lunchtime almost, potentially. So that's something we're going to have to watch as well tomorrow. This is going to be a pretty significant next couple of days. All right, let's go back and look at the velocity on this. Let's actually try and see if storm relative velocity is shown. There we go. A little bit better there. So you can see where that tornado is still in progress at. It's basically riding Highway 2 north towards Hyannis. Yeah, Des Moines will probably be in a PDS watch tomorrow. I think they will. They should. All right, so we're watching this PDS warning, guys. Once again, headed east-northeast here towards Hyannis, Nebraska. All right, hold on, guys. I got something in my eyeball. I'll be right back.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, so guess what, guys? They just warned the storm to the east of it. So now we have 2 tornado warnings out of 2 different storms, side by side with each other. We now have a tornado warning here just to the east of this. This is also for the northern side of Hyannis. Yeah, Cherry and Grant counties, you guys got to be seeking shelter. You've got a large tornado on the ground to the west of you and a tornado on top of you. I guess you just pick and choose which one you want to have at this point. This is wild. I don't remember the last time I've seen something like this. Golly. Gate-to-gate shear on this PDS is insane. Very, very strong rotation on this storm. As well as the other one is starting to get going as well. Yeah, well, thank you for the hat and mustache. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me switch back over here because I've got to look at a couple things here. So once again, guys, 2 tornado warnings here. 1 PDS tornado warning and 1 regular tornado warning. There is a debris signature in the middle one. I believe almost, yep. Both of these tornadoes are going to... I mean, this is impressive. This is so impressive. God. Please, I hope you guys are in your safe places. This is a nasty, nasty storm. Both of these are nasty storms. So guys, once again, PDS tornado warning here, just outside or it's in the city or town of Hyannis, Nebraska. This is western Nebraska. 2 tornado warnings here in effect for both areas. Wow. This is crazy. This thing is insane. I don't remember the last time I seen something like this, guys. So we're at 61 knots inflow, 44 outflow, around that time, or around that range there. I do appreciate you guys for watching. As always, thank you guys for being here for the support. Thank you for the taps. Thank you guys very, very much. Yeah, I believe that is still a debris signature that is there. Yeah, this is doing damage. I really hope this is not what's going to happen tomorrow, and this makes me really freaking nervous. So you've got one storm down on the southern flank here, and you've got the one here to the west. Yeah, so this is the slight risk almost. This is the middle of the slight risk here. And we've got 2 potential confirmed here, at least a large wedge. I just saw the video for this thing. It's insane. It looks 2 miles wide. It straight up looks 2 miles wide. This storm should be tornado emergency, but it's because there's not a population with it. There's not a lot of population with it. They're not going to Tor-E it. I'll be shocked if they Tor-E this storm, but it should be. If they wouldn't do tornado emergencies just off of population, this would be a Tor-E in a heartbeat. The Storm Prediction Center is going to have to upgrade this area to an enhanced risk. They're going to have to slap a 10% hatch on here. I will be shocked. I will be absolutely shocked if SPC does not issue a level 3 enhanced risk on the update in 20 minutes. There's no reason that this should not be. We should have an orange level 3 out of 5 risk zone here with a 10% hatch tornado risk. There should be no reason why there's not. They update in 20 minutes. They just severe warned the southern storm as well. 1.5 inch hail. So we've got, I mean, when do you see 3 supercells, 1 PDS, 1 regular Tor, and then a severe thunderstorm warning all clustered together like this? Yeah, they need to issue a level 3 enhanced risk in here. There's no exceptions on this. They also need to pull this slight risk further to the west or to the east. Wow. Oh my gosh. You guys gotta be in your safe places here. I know this is mostly rural, but if you live in the town of Hyannis, I'm praying for you guys. This is gonna go just north of y'all. This is western Nebraska, guys. This is over here just west of Thedford and south of Valentine. So this is up here and there, the North Platte area. I mean, this is a violent tornado. I mean, this went from a little hailstorm within a matter of 30 to 45 minutes to a violent tornado. I mean, this thing was at least 2 miles wide a few minutes ago when we were looking at it. And the fact that it's moving at about 13 miles per hour doesn't make it any better. It looks like there's twins. It looks like this is producing 2 tornadoes potentially, which is not impossible. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, Steph, I just saw what you just said. But it wouldn't surprise me. Let me see if I can find something on this. Wow. Guys, I'm going to show this for a quick second on the camera. That's your tornado. That's what it was a few seconds ago. Take a look at that. That's impressive. That's just, thank God it's in the middle of nowhere. This is a small tale of what's getting ready to happen tomorrow. I'm not joking when I say that. I can just say for my weather team in here, guys, the Rufus model did it again. It did it again. Trying to find a picture of this thing. Like it is in the middle of the nowheres. Hold on, does the warning box say what it is? Hold on a second, because I can't see the warning box on it. Hold on. Yeah, our most aggressive model that typically is only used for like really weird scenarios was right today. Connor Croft says a mile wide. Okay, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, so we're up to apple size hail with still the PDS. And the second one is organizing too. They're gonna have to issue a new PDS on this in a second. Oh my gosh. The third one's about to be going here too. We're about to have 3 tornadoes within a 15-mile radius of each other. Y'all, this is something you don't see every single day. So I hope y'all watching this remember this. Like we're pretty much in the middle of nowhere as of right now, other than this little small town of Hyannis that's in this area. But this is insane. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at it, Han. I'm looking at it. It's huge. Oh my gosh. It's not even moving. I can't show it, guys. If you guys want to check out Connor Croft on YouTube, Connor and then Croft, Croff, he's in front of it. It's over a mile wide. It's not moving. This is wild. They need to get a new warning on this. This warning's about to expire. The other one's on the ground, so they're both confirmed. The second warning's also confirmed now. Gate-to-gate wind shear on this thing is 143 miles per hour. Or, sorry, 152. There's a 152 reading on here. Wow. Wow. Yeah, up to 90. Hold on. 145 mile per hour winds ongoing is insane. Over a mile wide tornado on the ground, guys, here in western Nebraska right now. 145 mile per hour winds outgoing right now. That is only in Nebraska. Guys, I want you guys to understand as well. This is in a level 2 out of 5 slight risk zone. We have a level 4 out of 5 tomorrow up in Minnesota, Wisconsin. Same setup, if not worse. Same setup tomorrow. We're not going to speculate on ratings. This tornado, I'm going to tell you guys right now. This tornado is big. It's at least a mile to 2 miles wide. We saw it at 1.2 miles wide a few minutes ago. This is producing, like, this is in the middle of nowhere, so the National Weather Service is more than likely, unless for some reason this continues to track east, which it can, very slowly, and it does end up getting into an area that's populated, this will probably be rated as an EF0 tornado or an EF1 tornado. They do not do damage assessment based off of mile per hour wind speeds. It's only off of damage, mostly. There's some times where they can occasionally throw it in, but this is probably going to get an EF0 or EF1 tornado rating. And if it doesn't do any damage, it probably will get an ENO or something like that. It won't be rated at anything. That's how they rate these storms. If it doesn't do damage, it won't get a rating on it. Yeah, it's not based on EFU. That's right. Yeah, that's right, Nolan. Yeah, it'll probably get an EFU rating. I always forget that term. So this is a good thing. We don't want an EF5. We don't want that. We don't want this doing damage in areas. The cats are being crazy. Yeah, there's the other one. So the other one is also, looks like the other one is confirmed as well. Yep, there's a debris signature. So we've got 2 confirmed tornadoes, a wedge and a little one. Yeah, there we go.
A new PDS tornado warning has been issued.
So there's the extension on it. So they're just going to overlap that warning. So once again, guys, this is western Nebraska. I just cannot believe this is happening. Looks like the third one's about to be tornado warned next. We're going to have 3 tornado warnings within a 15-mile radius of each other. There's the new PDS. So same area, not moving. This storm is moving literally at 13 miles per hour east-northeast. It is basically stationary. This mile-wide tornado, guys, is stationary. It's not moving. It's literally just sitting there. I know that might be a little bit hard to comprehend in terms of like seeing it not move, but it's literally not moving. So this is a large confirmed tornado on the ground. And then we've got the major one here. We've got another one here, and then another one about to be on the ground behind it. I don't remember the last time I've ever seen something like this. This is once again in a level 2 slight risk. The Storm Prediction Center is going to have to upgrade this in 10 minutes. If they don't, I'm going to be absolutely livid.
New information. This tornado warning has been upgraded.
So the second one has officially been confirmed. So the PDS tornado warning is on the ground, and the other one is now on the ground. Let's see if the third one becomes confirmed. I am so blessed that this is not in a populated area, because we would be looking at something that I couldn't even be able to describe on pen and paper. Be grateful, guys, and praise Jesus that this isn't a rural area. This could be doing horrific damage if it was not. Yeah, these are basically stationary tornadoes. Let's see if SBC updated. No update yet. Yeah, I think they're going to go enhanced. They're going to have to throw a 10% hatch tornado risk in here. So we should see a orange shaded upgrade here in a minute. Should be 10% hatched. They'll probably bump that slight risk over east too for more of central Nebraska. Yeah, the radar can't even pick up. This is insane. Our hook echo, guys, this is our hook echo. It is wrapped around. It's basically a donut hole. We're basically looking at a donut hole. Connor, I just saw you extend your subscription. What's up, bud? Good to see you in here. I appreciate you. If you're in here, I think you're in here. Dude, this is wild. Talk about a conditional risk zone. I am now officially nervous for tomorrow. Talk about the Triple HR model not having any storms in this area, and the Rufus being the one that did it again today. Connor, I have no questions on tomorrow. My questions are answered, and we're ready to go. That's a new one. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way. I was trying to deny it, but at the same time, it's just like you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So we have a confirmed large and dangerous tornado on the ground, guys, here just outside of Hyannis, Nebraska, and then another confirmed tornado just to the east of it here. We've got 2 tornadoes on the ground, literally side by side, not moving at all, just stationary. And they have 3-inch hail on them. I'm not going to say we're going to get a high risk tomorrow yet, guys. I'm waiting for some model runs to come in. We're going to do a whole deep breakdown of tomorrow and what's going to happen tomorrow here in a little bit. I want to get through this first, and we'll go from there. I'm going to be on here probably until about 1 a.m., so we're going to be on here for a while. This is so impressive. Yeah, Bree Connor's he's gonna chase that. Connor Croft he's gonna always get close to that stuff. He's done this for a long time. He's not gonna do anything crazy. Yeah, they're professionals. They do this stuff all the time. No, there's not a tornado emergency, and the reason why that is because there's not a population really here at all. We're basically in the rural areas of western Nebraska. If they Tor-E'd this, I would be shocked. And the only reason I say that is because I've never seen a Tor-E in a non-populated area. This is very impressive. So once again, guys, what a what an evening here in western Nebraska. I did not expect this on the playing cards for today. I told y'all, I remember if y'all watched my video today, I told y'all if any storms were going to fire off today, this is what was going to happen, and it's happening. So just goes to show you guys what's at stake for tonight and for what's at stake for tomorrow. Tomorrow's our big day. Tomorrow's our big day. My eyeball is annoying the living daylights out of me today. Oh my goodness graciouses. Did SPC go enhanced risk yet? They need to get this damn Outlook out. This is ridiculous. This is insane. I can't answer high risk upgrades, guys. It's a confidence thing. We'll look at model runs here in a little bit, and we'll discuss that. I don't personally think we're gonna get a high risk tomorrow, just given the confidence on if storms are gonna fire and off. We'll see. If things change overnight tonight, then maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Can't say no. I think it's on the table, but we'll see. So once again, PDS tornado warning here until 8:30 Central Time. We got about 37 minutes left on this warning. It's now moving at 18 miles per hour due northeast. So it's going to basically, it's just, these storms are just basically Fujiwaraing around each other. Outside of that, general severe weather. So this is where the hot spot it seems to be. I'm just waiting to see if SPC is going to update or not. See if her run is going through. I'm going to pull this over so I can look at this here in a second. There we go. Yeah, I'm watching it on my phone, Bree. I can. Yeah, he's got this thing. It's rain wrapped. So yeah, so this is a PDS. So I changed my polygons. I've got my polygons. It'll if a tornado emergency comes out, it's gonna blink a lot more. I have a red tornado warning for like red tornado warnings, and then I've got a little flash for this, and then I've got for a tornado E. It's a different color. I can customize my warnings the way I want to have them. So you'll know if there's a Tor E. I promise. I could probably honestly fix the flash. I might actually do that low key. So the good news, like I said, is these storms are stationary pretty much. Connor Croft is live on YouTube. You can see his stream on there. We're on Radar Omega. I'm going to try and fix this real quick. Hold on a second. Right, there's no populated areas in here, so it's not doing damage as of right now, other than some grass. That's not the one I wanted. I'm trying to fix my thing, y'all. Bear with me. There we go. That should look a little bit better. I wanted to make it so it wasn't flashy. No, guys, the models did not have these storms today, and I told y'all that in the video. This is a conditional risk zone today. I told y'all that any storms that fired off would have the chance to produce a violent tornado, and that's exactly what we're seeing. All right, I like that a little bit better. There we go. I fixed that. That's a little bit better. So once again, guys, we've got 8 till 8:30 Central Time left on this PDS Tor warning. It's still observed with 3-inch hail, so this is still doing damage. And then the other tornado warning here that is out for about 15 more minutes here in to the east of it is also still observed. So both of these tornadoes are still observed. Let me actually fix one more thing. Let me see if I can do something here. Hold on. There we go. I like that better. There we go. I fixed it. A little bit easier to see now. So once again, guys, these two tornadoes are in the middle of nowhere as of right now. The southern one just went toward pause. We'll go back and look at velocity on both of these again. Yeah, these are still cranking. The third one's trying to get going as well. Okay. All right, I'm waiting for SPC to do its thing here. We get about, should be any time now. Okay. So once again, guys, two confirmed tornadoes on the ground here in western Nebraska. We've got Loop River, North Branch, and Whitman Road crossing here. Okay. So outside of this, though, guys, two severe thunderstorm warnings up here in northwestern portions of Nebraska. These are for wind and for hail. Those do not have tornado possible tags on them, which is good. And then a couple severe thunderstorm warnings up here in eastern portions of Montana for wind and also for hail. And then outside of that, that is it. Those are the only areas that we've got storms in right now. So we're really just focusing on these two storms in Nebraska. They're just not moving. Yeah, they're both observed. Yeah, from what I can see of. Yeah, they're both, I mean, both of the velocity scans are definitely there. Yeah. No, they did not upgrade. They just expanded the slight risk. I think that was it. Hold on a minute. Which is actually really concerning. Wow. Yeah, they shrunk this risk zone down in terms of the slight risk. Crazy stuff. Crazy. So this risk zone will update here in just a minute. Yeah, they completely took the slight risk away out of Kansas and out of southern Texas. It's just for Nebraska and for South Dakota, and then the slight risk down in the panhandle of Texas. It's quite interesting. Guys, thank you for all the gifts that you're gifting. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm waiting for it to officially update on SPC, and I'll look at it. So once again, still have a PDS tornado warning, and looks like there's once again 2 here. Jeez Louise. Yeah, these both still exist. Yeah, so we're still looking at right at, I think I saw an 80 in there, 84 mile per hour winds ongoing. So these both are weakening. They are in a little bit of a weakening trend, which is some good news. I think we're going to get one big massive storm here soon, eventually. Yeah, I was gonna say, the northern one typically always wins, most times than not. It's the bigger storm. Mostly your northern one is the big one. So once these tornado warnings expire, guys, I'm gonna run over in depth what's gonna happen. We're getting our OOZ HER model in right now, which is probably our most critical model run to set up for tomorrow. So we're gonna get some interesting information on that here, and I'll kind of be able to break down what we're looking at for tomorrow. In a nutshell. Start to see some bits and pieces of it. Yeah, so the eastern storm, guys, like I said, both of these tornadoes are still observed. And you can see the southern or the eastern one here has a little bit stronger winds inflow. So this is going to potentially be a little bit of a bigger storm, at least from what it looks like.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
There we go. There's the new one. Once again, it's just going to overlap on top of this because it's slowly moving. Yep, there it is. Just overlapped on top of it. All right, so this new warning, this is going to be out until... No, is it the southern one? Hold on a minute. 605 Chaser, good to see you in here. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Looks like the southern one just got warned. Are all three of these warned now? That's crazy if that's the case. I think all three of these are warned now. Mama, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, I think all three of these are warned now. Crazy. So we have a PDS, a regular tornado warning, and a regular tornado warning. And the northern one is still observed.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And that's confirmed. So there's another one. So that's the extension. So the storm up here to the north just got that new warning. Yeah, so that means all three of these are warned. We have 3 tornado warnings out of 3 separate storms within a 15-mile radius of each other. This is not something you see every day, guys. So the northern warning up here is an extension on the southern storm. Like I said, these are in the middle of nowhere, so we really don't have, per se, the cities in here. We've just got counties. So Cherry, Nebraska is that new warning. It is also still observed. So there are 3 tornadoes, guys. 1, 2, and 3. 3 tornadoes within a 15-mile radius of each other. 1 large wedge, 1 cone, and 1 not observed yet. This is crazy. No, guys, tornado emergencies are issued only for populated areas. Only for populated areas. That's when they happen. Okay. Okay. So it looks to be the eastern storm is becoming a lot stronger. That's what we're seeing on velocity right now. So northern one is going now. It looks to be the southern one lost its rotation. Looks like both of these storms are losing their rotation. The northern one is the one that's getting going here. Like I said, we should have here eventually soon one massive supercell. Yeah, so the more impressive storm is the northeastern one. Nasty, nasty storm. Guys, make sure as well, if you haven't hit the follow button here on TikTok, you hit that follow button. Also, if you're not subscribed over on my YouTube channel, we're also live on there as well at the same time. Make sure y'all do both. I do appreciate it very, very, very much. We're going to be live on here for quite some time tonight, probably till about midnight, 1 a.m. I want to look at models, talk about things, get some questions answered for tomorrow. Once we don't have any more tornado warnings, that would be great. And then tomorrow, we're going to be on here all day. We're going to be on here gutting this thing out, so... Iowa's going to get storms, yes. If you're in a risk zone, you're going to probably get storms, yes. We're going to talk about all that here in a little bit. I'm waiting for our most important model run to update right now. Oh, look at that. It crashed. Hold on a second. There we go. Here's our new risk zone update for tonight. The slight risk got taken out of Kansas. They still have a slight risk down here towards southern Oklahoma, or southern far extreme western, southwestern Panhandle of Oklahoma, and down here towards Texas. But then this is the main area that we're going to be focused on right here. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of people's first tornado risk tomorrow. So, yeah. So our eastern storm is the one that's going right now. Radar's being a little bit wonky because it's so close to the radar. Looks like that PDS might drop here soon, too. Yeah, day 3 is enhanced for Tuesday for Ohio and Pennsylvania for hail. Possibly an elevated strong tornado. We'll see. Yeah, I was going to say anything is on the table for tomorrow at this point. Yep. Tonight validated a lot of things for me that I needed confidential-wise for this forecast. It definitely did the job. So that's going to be where your main area of rotation is here inside this tornado warning. I believe it's Cherry County still that's in this. What's up, Mandy? So, as soon as we lose this area of rotation on this storm, we might actually be able to talk about some things, guys. But until then, we're going to have to sit here and we're going to wait. I do appreciate you guys for watching. 13,000 likes here on TikTok. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. This tornado warning is still observed, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, it's still observed till 8:45, so we got 24 minutes left on this warning. What I'm noticing, though, is it looks like it's becoming inflow dominant, so you're really starting to see those green colors go away. Your outflow winds are getting squeezed out. Therefore, this should become just wind and hail eventually here soon. We'll see what happens. This is going to be kind of a nasty storm eventually here soon. How long does this watch out till midnight? So I'm looking at a couple things, guys. Hold on. Okay. Alrighty, PDS warning should be expiring in 5 minutes, and then we should just have this plain old tornado warning right here that's observed. Interesting. Yeah, the models are still all over the place for tomorrow. There's no consistency. We may just have to wait till tomorrow in terms of figuring out what's going to happen tomorrow. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to let these tornado warnings expire and we'll go from there. A lot of things to talk about. If you are on, it says if you're on the border of a risk zone, should you assume the higher risk? I would, yeah. I always tell people that, just to be mindful of that. If you're on the borderline of an enhanced and you're in a marginal or a site, then yeah, I would. I would definitely do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, Hunter. That's what I'm saying too. Yeah, let's take a look at this again on velocity. Yeah, it might be trying to recycle. Looks like the southern one also might be trying to get going as well. You kind of got a little bit of a notch developing on it. We might get two supercells here again. Looks like maybe a split happening. We'll see. They're moving so dagem slow. This is western Nebraska. This is over here near Thedford and Valentine. So, like I said, these storms are in the middle of nowhere. So, as long as they hang out in the middle of nowhere, it's completely okay. It's when we start getting closer to, like, Valentine, Mullen, Ainsworth. I mean, closer to this outside this watch. All right. Reed has eyes. Is Reed in Nebraska now? Did he make it up there? Damn, he was zooming up there. I wonder if we have any. Any cameras up here in this area? Let me check here and see if we've got anything real quick. I am curious. Oh, the camera doesn't play though, dang. So once again, PDS warning has dropped, so we're just looking at still a observed tornado warning here in Nebraska. We'll have to see if this eventually gives us something down the road. Have to watch this here and see if we can get a camera angle of this here at some point. We'll see. A couple of these storms have got. Nope, that was a long time ago. Guys, I'm trying to find a camera potentially here. I'm talking to myself as well. Bear with me here for a minute. Is that hail on the ground? From this camera? Hold on a second. Is that hail? This is one of the cameras. These aren't cameras that'll like play radar or play loop, but they'll just show they're like those stationary cameras in Nebraska. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You would think that these cameras would work. Well, there's a car. That looks like hail. Is that hail on the side of the road just piled up there? You guys see that, right? It definitely ain't snow, I'll tell you that. Bring Juniper initial chat. Juniper will come in a minute. I'm pretty sure that that's hail. Yeah, that's where this storm just came through. Look at that. What the hell? It is. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, look at that. That's some gigantic hail if it's doing that. Holy crap, look at that. All on the side of the road there. That's pretty freaking cool. If you're in Nebraska, you guys see this a lot. So we're gonna continue using this. This is where the storm is at right now. So these cameras that are getting ready to get, yeah, so it's raining and hailing here. Some of these cameras are a little bit behind. So we'll have to take a look at these whenever these storms, when they move out. Jeez Louise. I wonder if this one up here's got anything. Nah. Oh, it's sunny there. Well, that was pretty cool, though. Let me go back to that. That's pretty freaking cool. Now, that's freaking awesome. Not us for people's cars that got destroyed, but I'll get that.
New information. This tornado warning has been upgraded.
Alright, this tornado's back on the ground again. Let's go take a look at this. I believe it is the southern one. Looks to be the southern one. Yep, the southern one is now confirmed. God, I don't know what the radar is doing with this. Yeah, this is the southern one, so both of these are considered observed. Yep, they're both observed still. Yeah, we literally watched this thing split again. Crazy. We've got 2 embedded mesovortices and 2 supercells here. God, I want to try and get a camera on this thing. Oh, it's going to annoy the living daylights out of me. I want to get a picture of this. It's going north, so it's going towards this camera up here near Kennedy, but it's going to take forever to get there. I hate that it just like zooms in on the roads. That's annoying. All right, let's go back to radar here. I'll keep looking out for that. All right. Yeah, the southern one is pretty impressive. Looks like there's your debris signature right there. Like I said, this is in the middle of nowhere, so as long as this storm stays between Valentine and Mullen, we'll be good. Yeah, it's literally sat here for literally like 2 hours almost. It's cranking. The radar can't even hold it. There we go. So we're looking at 75 in. Radar's being wonky. God, these things, I'm telling y'all, I don't know what it is, but the last 6 days in a row, these supercells have just been incredible to watch unfold. Like, just the structure of these storms has just been insane. No, they didn't, Manders, no. They actually took the risk zone away for people. The people that, the storm chasers that traveled to Kansas today got busted on. I feel bad for the chasers that went to Kansas today. This is becoming a beast of a storm again. We're looking at 68, almost 70 inflow, 73 inflow. Let me go back again and look at this. Yeah, this is going to be nasty. Ugh. 74 inflow. I hope that's not 93 outflow. I really hope that that's wrong. Hold on a minute. Let me look at my phone real quick. Yeah. We're looking at 73 inflow, 58 outflow. It's about 130 gate to gate. Yeah, I agree, babe. Yeah, they might PDS this again. We'll see. Oh, man. Nothing's better than, guys, than watching a stationary supercell thunderstorm produce a tornado. Like, I'm telling y'all, it is not moving. It is, okay, the southern warning says it's moving northeast at 32 miles per hour, but is it actually? We'll see. That was a really bad sneeze. All right, guys, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Jimmy Purr, guys, is being a disaster tonight. I swear. Okay. Sorry, guys. I was sending out a message real quick. Literally, she sits right here beside me. Literally sits right here beside me. And just chills. Hold on. I'll show you guys real quick with the camera. Hold on. That is... She just sits right there. The whole time. I'm not even joking. Like, that's her spot. It's beside the monitor. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, she just sits there the whole time and just wants attention. You want attention, don't you? And the crazy thing about it is she wants to sleep with me afterwards. Yes, guys, I'll be covering Monday and Tuesday. Yes, that is my plan. Babe or Shell, I don't know why I said Babe or Shell, but Tuesday looks like we're going to get multiple rounds. Potentially. Looks interesting. Okay, sorry, guys. All right. That is the job, Southern Chick, is to get warnings out sooner. That is the job. That is the job. All right, we still got these 2 tornado warnings. Really 1. They did add a severe thunderstorm warning that's torpos to the other storms. It's really just this storm right here that we're watching, and it's still definitely producing a confirmed tornado. So we're going to continue to watch these supercells. Got a lot of rain convection on going outside of that here. It looks to be we may not even get any storms really much more down here in Texas. Let me check Texas. Yeah, whatever storms were down here, the cap basically eroded them. So we're really just looking at what's ongoing here in western Nebraska for the rest of tonight. And I think eventually these storms are going to grow upscale, and we're going to get some damaging winds, some hail, and then that'll be that for tonight. So we'll just kind of see how things play out. There we go.
New information, this tornado warning has been upgraded.
So yeah, this tornado's back on the ground. If it was not on the ground before, it's back on the ground again. And you can actually see there's a little blob right here in the middle. Let me switch over really quickly. Little blob right there where your correlation's at. Yeah, this thing is cranking again. Yeah, guys, I'm going to be covering every day. I'll be here covering every single day. Oklahoma's going to be interesting on Wednesday. Or not Wednesday. Oklahoma's going to be interesting on Tuesday. Not Wednesday, sorry. We're going to have to watch Oklahoma on Tuesday. I'm just looking at some of the new model runs that are coming in. I don't really see this enhanced risk verifying for Pennsylvania and Ohio as of right now either, but we'll have to see how the models handle that tomorrow. Yikes. The Oklahoma-Texas line on Tuesday looks really, really interesting for that setup. I have to watch how this surface low develops. Guys, sorry. I chat, I speak out of my mind when I see things. So we're gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging tonight. We're gonna talk about everything. Once these Dad Gym tornado warnings stop going, we'll start to kind of talk about things and chat about things. I'm just kind of looking at data as it's coming in. That way I can discuss things with you guys in a little bit. Yeah, they look impressive, but it looks linear right now, which is what's interesting. I don't think a lot of the models are holding on grasp on to what's really going to happen, which is what's really even more crazy. I don't think so, Casey. We'll see. I'm just looking at some things. So, guys, we still have this tornado warning here. Let me see if we've got any cameras up on this too. See if we've got anything working with cameras. It looks like it's mostly going to be hail damaging winds on Tuesday. Got mucus in my throat. Oh, it's coming nighttime for these cameras, so we're not going to be able to see them much longer. Yikes. Yeah, tornadoes in a rural area. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, it looks like the moderate risk might be shifted up a little bit further north too, into more northern Wisconsin and central and northern Minnesota. We'll have to see too. The HREF model really likes it higher north, so we'll, like I said, we'll just have to see what happens overnight tonight. Wake up tomorrow and get actual real-time data coming in. I will say something as well. We are not getting a lot of balloon soundings in this area, which also might be why models are not showing the full potential of tomorrow's event, just like they did for today. So, when you guys are put in risk zones, especially for tomorrow, you need to be weather aware. You need to know that all hazards are going to be possible. Strong long track tornadoes tomorrow are not going to be, something that you want to mess around with. So make sure you guys are prepared, especially in those higher end risk zones. So I think that might be our issue is the balloon soundings. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I know the weather balloon cutting definitely is taking a toll on these forecasts for sure. There's storms in Nebraska right now. Yeah, there's tornadoes in Nebraska, western Nebraska. There's 2 right now. Oh, there's golf ball size hail. Yeah, the one that's on the radar right now is on the ground, yes. Hi there, purpers. No, that's tomorrow's threat. Tomorrow's long track. I mean, you could argue a case that tonight's storms have been a little bit like that, but... The one that's currently observed is just northwest of Mullen and Thedford, Nebraska, south of Valentine. That's the one that's on the screen right now. All right, let's take a look at this storm here and see what it's doing. Looks to be kind of starting to weaken out a little bit. You're starting to see a broad area of expansion here with your base of your supercell. This thing might eventually start to collapse itself here, hopefully soon. Yeah, still got some rotation, decent rotation on it inside that tornado warning. But this might start to chill itself out a little bit. Yeah, if we get a high risk, it probably won't be tonight. It'll be last minute tomorrow, and that would be to uptrend. But right now, there is so much model inconsistency. There's half these model runs don't even show initiation in areas tomorrow. So we know we're going to get storms. It's today just proved that point. But the models just, unless there's a couple reasons on why they would go off, go do a high risk. But I don't see it happening right now. I think it plays a role in it too, Kayla. Yeah, 100% on that. Alicia K, thank you for the subscription. I just saw that as well. I appreciate the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. I don't know why I just saw that. If you did that, if you're still in here, Alicia, I appreciate you. Well, and I told you guys this was going to happen. I warned you guys this was going to happen literally months ago, whenever this whole thing started happening, and we're seeing it happen. So, first big event that we get up here, and it sadly is what happens. This is probably one of the most interesting events that I've seen barely any type of convection with in terms of overall magnitude. Now, I will say the NAM 3K is pretty spot on with this tomorrow. So we're going to have to... Tomorrow might be a day that we watch the NAM 3K model instead of the HER. I am a HER lover. The HER is usually supposed to be what we go off of, most times not. But golly, the NAM 3K likes the idea of long track tornadoes in Iowa tomorrow, which... the models have not been showing consistently on. So there's about 26 different cam models that you can technically look at. And about 2 of them are actually showing initiation tomorrow in the right areas that are in risk zones. So when you have that happening, you have to go based off of instinct. You have to go based off of what model runs, or not what model runs, what the atmosphere is giving you. So when we get up tomorrow morning and we see what the atmosphere is actually doing, that's going to tell us what's going to happen. And the model runs are not going to matter after tonight. It's not going to matter. Tomorrow's model runs will not matter at all whatsoever in terms of where storms are going to fire off. We're just going to have to basically go off of what the environment is giving us and where the setup is going to be at. And it's going to be Wisconsin, Minnesota. I wouldn't be shocked to see them move that moderate risk up a little bit further north, just given what we're seeing with the models tonight. But tomorrow could be a big day. Tomorrow could be a mid-grade day, or tomorrow could be nothing. It's kind of one of those days like today, for instance, and we're seeing what you're seeing on your screen here in terms of these tornadoes in Nebraska tonight. So, hopefully we get a bust tomorrow. I'm going to tell you guys right now, tomorrow is one day that I pray to God that we get a bust on. I would rather sit on here for 12 hours tomorrow and you know, fiddle my thumbs and play with my fingers and... Wait a minute. Regard what I just said. Disregard that. I would rather sit here and do nothing than cover extreme tornadoes on the ground. Just saying. I was waiting on you to catch on that row. Oopsies.
Emotional damage.
Literally. It happens once a stream. I do something stupid. It never fails. Never fails. Mesomat at its finest. There's a 5% tornado risk for Tulsa tomorrow, I believe. 5%. We're gonna talk about tomorrow. Once these warnings expire, we're gonna start going over that. Yeah, Tulsa, you're 5%/2%. Heather, what's up? David, what's up? I see you over there on YouTube. Good to see you in here, bud. Do you think KC will get some tomorrow? I can tell you guys right now, my confidence for storm initiation south of Iowa all the way down into Texas tomorrow is very, very slim. I don't have a lot of confidence in storms initiating in Oklahoma, in Texas, in Kansas. It's a dry line setup kind of like today, so storms may fire, storms may not. What I'm more confident in is storms in Iowa, storms in Minnesota, storms in Wisconsin, and into Western Illinois. That's kind of my 4-state area. Down outside of that risk zone, it's all up to Mother Nature at that point. The parameters are there. It's just our storm's going to initiate further down south. Yeah, Jacob, it was crazy. The wedge that was out of Hyenas a little bit ago was insane. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a high risk tomorrow either, David. I think we're going to be stuck at a moderate, which I'm completely fine with. I would rather not see that come out tomorrow. This area does not need that. I don't want to see that. Ohio's getting whacked on Tuesday with hail, so they got that enhanced hatch risk. A very rare hatched hail risk for that far north. Unless models do some wild things overnight and we wake up to just initiation galore, that's the only thing I would see a high risk coming out in. But I don't think it's going to happen. And regardless if a high risk or a moderate risk is on the table, they're basically both the same thing. It's just a higher confidence in there being something there. So I know everybody's like, oh, I want a high risk. I want a high risk. Like, it's, come on, we've already had 2 this year. Like, are we going to get 3? Probably not. I will be shocked if a high risk gets issued. I will be shocked. It's not off the table. It's not 0%, but I will be shocked given what happened today. You can never say never in the weather world, so. So. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. I'm just kind of looking at some different things, kind of while we're watching happen here. Oh, guys, apparently a train got derailed from that tornado a few minutes ago. There's a whole train that got derailed and flipped off the tracks. That tells you the wind speeds were ridiculous. Yeah, look at this thing. Looks like we got 2 again. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's look at this here. Hold on a second. Wow. We have 2 again. I'm telling you, I've never seen something like this. Or I can't say I've never. It's been a long time since I've seen something like this. We're going to have to get a new tornado warning on this here in a minute. I'm not seeing damage on either one of these right now, but golly. What's gate to gate looking at on here? 102 inflow, 30, 45, 43 outflow, so right around 140, 150. Jeez Louise. This thing doesn't want to give up. I'm going to start getting a little bit more concerned because we're going to get closer to Valentine, Wood Lake here in a little bit as this this continues to track east. What an overperformer tonight. Let's see if I can get a little bit more of a reading on SRH. Yeah, the models can't even... Was that a 140? What? That's insane. That's insane. I think that's the southern one. Hold on a minute. Yeah, this is definitely up there. Katie, thank you for the train gift, by the way. I appreciate it. I didn't mean to miss that. If I missed it, I'm sorry, guys. I appreciate all the love, all the gifts. You guys are freaking awesome. Guys, best way to donate to stream instead of doing it TikTok. If you guys want for me to make sure I get all of it, you guys can donate to my PayPal. It's Mesomat. So it says on the bottom left of your screen over there where it says pp.mesomat. That's my PayPal. If y'all ever want to actually donate, you guys can. Yeah, let me do that, babe. This is gorgeous. Oh, this is beautiful. We've had a lot of teaching moments this year in terms of like these cells. It's quite interesting when they happen. Yeah, this isn't a slight risk, guys. Which is what's just insane about it. What's up, Mandy? I see you over there on YouTube. Yeah, this is not something you see every single day in Nebraska. I'll say that for the least of things there. I mean, we've got 2 potential tornadoes in progress here. We've got one on the northern side of the warning and then one down here potentially. I'm going to get more and more concerned as this starts to pick up speed. I will mention these storms should start to pick up speed very quickly here in the next little bit. We've got a low-level jet that's going to start to kick in, and it's going to allow these storms to move a little bit quicker. I think speed, yeah, 20 miles per hour and at 18, so we should start to see that eventually here soon. I will say, if this storm continues, Valentine, Nebraska is known for some wild things, so we're going to have to watch this as it gets closer up here into South Dakota potentially later on tonight. We'll just kind of see what happens with that. I'm not seeing anything else that's like eye-popping in terms of velocity scans, but still, regardless, wow. So, like I said, guys, we're going to break down the forecast for tomorrow once this storm stops producing a tornado. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I've got somebody on my team that's in Minnesota. I don't know why people in Minnesota think for some reason that they're not going to get anything in a moderate risk zone tomorrow. I think that's absolutely absurd and wild. And I've heard that there's actual like meteorologists that are downplaying this event too, which is insane. This is how people get hurt, and this is how people lose their lives when they're not prepared for events like this. This is y'all's first major risk zone. You guys had a day 3 moderate risk issued for you 2 days ago. And that's the first time that's happened since 2011. The Storm Prediction Center doesn't just throw these risk zones out on a gimme when they think that something, you know, little is going to happen. In order to get a moderate risk to be issued for Minnesota, a lot has to come together for that to happen, let alone Wisconsin. And so for the fact that people in Minnesota are not taking this seriously is how you're going to lose your life. It's that simple. So you guys need to be prepared in Minnesota. Yeah, it's very rare that these setups happen, especially this early in the season. You guys don't typically see your severe weather until almost June, July, most times than not, so. I was going to say, Manners, I was waiting for it there. Yeah, I love you guys, but you guys need to be prepared. Regardless if you're in a marginal risk or a moderate risk, you need to be prepared. We've had tornadoes we're seeing large tornadoes with almost 200-mile-an-hour gate-to-gate shear readings and a slight risk tonight. For the love of all that's holy, you're in a moderate risk. I can't even imagine to think what happens tomorrow if things go the bad way. Some people may not see storms at all tomorrow. Some people may see storms. It's just how the luck of the cards is. I guarantee you somebody will be pissed off at me tomorrow whenever they don't get a storm. It'll happen. It happens more times than not. I don't control the weather. Yeah, I was gonna say Reed Timmer's heading to southern Minnesota tomorrow. He ain't gonna chase up there if he thinks it's gonna bust. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We'll have 70-degree dew points, instability pushing 3,500, tornado parameters maxed out, shear and ascent and height falls will be pretty decent. It's just our storm's gonna initiate. The models, I want you guys to understand, the models are not doing great with capping inversions. They don't do great with dry line setups. Clearly, today was an example, and our National Weather Service operations are basically really defunded in this area anyways. We don't have a lot of weather and balloon launches that are going to be in these areas specifically tomorrow. I hope and pray that changes for just one day tomorrow, then maybe we can get some model runs, but that might also be why the model runs are also lacking in terms of potential simulation runs. So the model runs I'll show you guys tonight aren't really showing much, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to be fine. There's not going to be anything. That's not how that works. Model runs didn't show wedge tornadoes in western Nebraska tonight, except for one specific run, and it's supposed to be an outlier run. So, yeah. Jim Cantori doesn't chase tornadoes, guys. He only does hurricanes and, like, winter storms and stuff. No, shouldn't be. There's been a couple times where I've seen him chase, but that was in my, like, young years. Yeah, people think when they see a news station and they show that beautiful high res futurecast and they don't see storms over their areas when they're in a high risk zone or something like that, that they don't think anything's going to happen. That's not how that works, guys. Model runs cannot 100% on the dot. I don't care who you think you are or what you think you do. Model runs cannot 100% on the dot forecast where storms are going to fire off, and they can give you a rough estimate, but once again, tonight is an example. Model runs didn't show this wedge tornado in western Nebraska tonight. They didn't at all. They showed it as a hailstorm potentially, but they didn't show a wedge, multiple wedges. So there's your exact scenario right there on why you can't trust models 100%. I tell you guys that. I preach that 24/7. Do not live off of model runs. You have to go based off of meteorology, based off of the basic rundown of what your setup is, what does your atmospheric look like. You can have model runs show a high-end tornado outbreak on model runs, and you get to the day of and it doesn't verify. Like, you have to look at your atmosphere, you have to look at mesoscale, you have to look at all of your features on the day of. It does not matter what happens leading up to that event in terms of model runs. Model runs are going to compute. It's a computer system. It's an AI generated thing. Yeah, some raw data is plugged in to help generate those, but it doesn't give you guys 100% on the dot what's going to happen. And I wish that would be told to I wish news stations would say that. I think some do, but some don't. So when they're telling you guys that and you're hearing that information, you're like, I'm going to be fine. There's not a storm in my backyard. But in reality, that could change. If you're not like me and you look at the weather literally every second of every minute of every of your life and you're not paying attention, you're not gonna pay attention, and you're not gonna think about that. You're gonna go on as your day is, and you're gonna take what your news stations tell you or what other people tell you over that, and you're gonna be told you're fine, and then you're gonna get to the middle of the afternoon and there's gonna be a giant tornado in your backyard or a large hail or whatever. So that's what I'm trying to get at, guys, is model runs can't do everything, and they're not going to, especially in a situation like today and tomorrow. Yeah, so like I said, tomorrow may...
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Tomorrow may be an absolute historic day. I hope and pray not. Tomorrow may be a mediocre day. Tomorrow may be absolutely nothing. I want you guys to remember those words coming out of my mouth. I've said that for days now. No severe weather risk setup, whether it's a high risk, a moderate, enhanced, a slight, or a marginal, no severe weather setup is a guarantee. You guys know that. There's never been a 100% chance of a tornado in someone's backyard. That's just not a thing. You can't issue a risk zone based off of that. What you do is you issue risk zones based off of confidence levels and ingredients being favorable for a tornadic or damaging wind or a large hail setup, etc. So that's what I'm getting. That's basically what I'm getting at. So, yeah, we've had exactly. Rochelle said the exact same thing. We've had large tornadoes in general thunderstorm risk zones. Like, we've seen it a lot more than times not this year. So, like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy. People just think that if they're in a risk zone that, you know, they're either not going to see something or it's a low end chance. Like I said, you guys are watching this. These supercells have been producing these large tornadoes for about 2 hours and 30 minutes in a level 2 out of 5 slight risk zone, in a 5% tornado risk. We have a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk with a 15% chance of there being long track violent EF3 plus tornadoes in this area tomorrow. You can't mean to tell me that that's not concerning a little bit. So that's what I'm getting at. I hope people in Minnesota and in Wisconsin or in Iowa are watching this tonight to kind of get an idea on what could be in store for tomorrow. That's basically what I'm getting at. It's not a slam dunk, but you have a higher chance of seeing tornadoes in your backyard in Minnesota and Wisconsin than the people in Nebraska do tonight, and look what's happening. You can't predict weather 100%. I can't predict it 100%. You basically go off the information you get, you take a look at it, you study it, and then you give your final prediction, and then that's that. Whether you're right or you're wrong, Hopefully you're wrong. I'm telling you guys, unless it's snowfall or something like that, or just some general rain or a nice little thunderstorm, that's what I want to be right about. I don't want to be right about these tornado outbreaks. I don't want to be right about these severe thunderstorm issues. I don't want to be right about anything that can cause destruction or, allow for people to lose their lives. I hope tonight busted. I was waiting for today to just become absolute nothing, a dud, and it ended up doing something. So I'm hoping for the same thing for tomorrow, but you never know. The weather is something wild. People get mad at meteorologists and people like me that call it and it doesn't happen. So that's why I always tell you guys in my videos and in my streams, never going to be able to predict it 100%, but there's always going to be somebody that's mad at you. It happens every single time. So this new tornado warning, guys, is for Cherry County here in just a continuation warning here. So we eventually should be losing this storm, hopefully here soon. It'd be nice. But we might still have this for a little bit longer. So starting to get a little bit closer to some population, so we have to watch this very closely. Just kind of see if we've got any new watch updates or anything. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be interesting. I have a gut feeling on tomorrow, and I'll talk about that later. And I have reality world, and I have fantasy world, is what I'll call it at this point. I'm never going to point you guys in the wrong direction, I promise. I may not be a degreed meteorologist, but I can pretty sure well damn forecast the weather pretty well without a degree. I can promise you that. I'm pretty sure if you guys actually watch the last 8 of my videos leading up to today and yesterday, I talk about these events 6 to 7 days prior to get you guys ready for this stuff. And most times not, severe weather happens, or, predictions go the way I think they're going to go. I'm pretty sure I've called these risk zones spot on every single day for the last 6 to 7 days straight, and poof. Yeah, it is an organized supercell. It's gorgeous. This thing is just, it's kicking. It's doing the thing. Oh yeah, guys, by the way, here's an issue. Here's another issue. The National Weather Service decided, I guess whenever they were a couple weeks ago or days ago or whatever, they decided to, this is only for a couple states. I know Indiana is one, and I think eastern or western portions of Iowa, or some areas are, I'm not too specific. But some National Weather Services decided to do what's called ESA updates on NOAA weather radios. So if you live in like Indiana, for instance, or I believe portions of western or central Iowa, they sent out a message, National Weather Service did, saying that the NOAA weather radios are going to be offline. They won't be working the 28th through the 30th. You need to have a secondary way of getting alerts on your phones if you don't have a NOAA weather radio. There is an app on your phone. You can download it on Apple, or you can download it on Android. It is called Emergency Red Cross Severe Weather Alerts app. It's the first thing to type in. If you just type in emergency alerts, it should be the first one that comes up. I'll show you guys here real quickly if you need that. You can set it up on your phone. Yeah, it's the very first one that pops up there. Very first one. It's called Emergency Severe Weather app. Grab that, put that on your phone, put your stuff in there, get it set up, and you'll have alerts for life. You're good to go. So, best thing you can do. Have a good night, Dad. Good to see you in here. No, my job is to keep you guys safe. I don't care if there's one person in here or 200 of you guys in here. I appreciate y'all for being in here and trust me with your weather coverage. It seriously means a lot. But my goal is to get here to get you guys ready to go. That is the plan. Oh. If it makes you guys feel better, I'm in a risk zone on Tuesday and possibly on Thursday. So, I might get some storm action on Tuesday from me again. I feel like there's not been really many weeks this year where we've not had a risk zone here in Kentucky. Yep, so I'm going to tell you guys too, weather apps like the Weather Channel, for instance, and the weather app that naturally comes installed on your phone, those are so inaccurate. I'm not a fan of the Weather Channel. I'm going to say that right now. I hate to say that, but the timing on their forecasts and stuff is just not the best. I'd rather use like AccuWeather or something like that, or what's another one? Well, there's really not any other ones. AccuWeather, my radar's got some good stuff on it. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the Weather Channel. It's actually led me getting into some wild situations that I haven't wanted to be in before. So, Good luck with that, Kayla. I've heard it's not hard, but yeah. That's crazy, Jess Murray. That's crazy. Yeah, it happens. I respect meteorologists no matter where you're at or what you work for because they're higher up than me. I don't have a degree yet, so but I don't like what the app does. I'm not a fan of the app in general. It's not the meteorologist's fault that run it. It's the technology, the AI behind it. It's not the best. The forecasting's disgustingly sloppy. So yeah, like when it says there's like a 30% chance of rain for like your location, if you're looking at your weather and it says like the percentage or whatever, it's not based off of just you. It's within like a 25-mile radius of an area. So like say there's a 30% chance of rain happening like for your location, it's within like a 25-mile radius area. So you're talking like there's a 30% chance that somebody will see rain within that 25-mile radius square radius area. It's not that you're going to get a 30% chance of seeing rain. Clearly when it's higher, it's like 90% of the coverage area will see it, but it doesn't mean you're specifically going to see it. It's based off of coverage area, like a square mile radius. So. Yep. It's a complex, like guys, the weather world is not easy to forecast. And like every single time I tell somebody that I'm like in school for meteorology or I do this for a living, they're like, well, you get paid to lie, don't you? I said, well, why don't you come be in my shoes for one day and do what I do? And just understand the things that we have to look at and go through to get a forecast out to you guys. Like, I just don't think people, unless you guys, like, you guys understand because y'all watch the videos, you guys watch the streams, you guys understand. But for people that don't understand, that just you hear that you're like in school for meteorology or that you're a degree meteorologist or whatever, they're like, okay, you get paid to lie. Cool. Well, that's great because that's not how that works at all. That's the one thing that irritates the living heck out of me. And at this point, I take it as a joke more than an offense. But it's just like, please come do what I do for one day. Please, please, please absolutely understand. You know what? I love to tell people, how about you tell me how to read a hodograph? Tell me how to read a hodograph. Tell me what a capping inversion is. Tell me, I like to ask questions to people that think they understand. So it's just how I fact check people. I think it's funny. Please tell me how to read a hodograph. Please. What's a SQT? Some of y'all may not know in the chat what that is. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about people that like come after me, for instance, or something like that. No, if you guys don't know what that is, it's okay. We'll have a talk about it one day. Yep. Oh yeah, and Rochelle just reminded me too. Here's another concept. People think Tornado Alley is shifting. That's not a thing. So if you take, like, for instance, let me just zoom out here for a minute, right? Exactly where severe weather's happening at. This is your traditional, what's called Tornado Alley. You might could throw some areas in there, but that is your traditional Tornado Alley. Hold on, let me share my screen here the other way. This is a little bit better. So this, in my mind, is your traditional tornado alley. Just take that with a grain of salt. And then you have, like I said, the Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, the Eastern Mid-Atlantic, East Coast, the Southeast or Dixie Alley, and then you have the Southern Plains. I mean, there's different terminologies that people go off of. There's not really technically a right, but people are always like, well, there's more storms happening here or more storms happening here on a given year. Is Tornado Alley shifting? No. Every single tornado season, quote-unquote tornado season, me and Rochelle discuss this a lot too. We know tornado season runs all year long, but peak tornado season typically happens March, April, May, June, maybe sometimes into late February. It just depends on the actual meteorological database timing or whatever you want to call it. But basically what I'm getting at is people think it shifts because more people see severe weather outside of it than on a given year or not. It's all based off of all of your atmospheric conditions. It's based off your jet stream. If we're in El Nino, if we're in La Nina, if we're in neutral. And it's just like, there's so many different factors that go into forecasting a tornado season or a severe weather season or a rain season or a hurricane season. We're about to enter hurricane season literally in a month and 4 days. Like, are you kidding me? That's going to be fun when that starts to get here again. But what I'm getting at is just, people just don't understand. And unless you sit down and they want to learn and understand and let you explain it to them, they're not going to care. I could walk up to somebody that doesn't, care anything about the weather and try to explain something, and then they leave with absolutely nothing because they don't care to actually understand it. So, like I said, for y'all understand. You guys are here to learn. You guys are here to get information and life-saving tools from me, and that's my goal. For people that don't care, they ain't gonna care. So, oh, that'll be fun, Gabby. Have fun with that. Please be safe. I'll have 2 chasers in Iowa and in northern Missouri tomorrow. So that'll be fun. Just be safe out there. Yeah, I'm going to read something that Rochelle sent me, guys. She just said, Tornado Alley is not shifting. It's all about pattern recognitions and storms based on troughing. Pattern recognition has been the common thing. We've had horrible setups back-to-back, 2000, 2004, 2005, 2006, and then you had 2011 through 2013, and even now 2024 through this year. I think we're kind of like on a 3 to 5 year stretch. It seems to be that we get these sequences of significant severe weather events every 3 to 5 years, and then it kind of gets a gap, and then 3 to 5 years. So kind of like that a little bit. It's quite interesting with these events, the way they happen. Yeah, the velocity on this thing is nasty. This storm has continued to produce a tornado for at least 3 hours now. At least 3 hours. Yeah, it literally at least 3 hours now. It's still got rotation on it. It's still doing the thing. So we're continuing to watch this storm very closely. Who just sent the galaxy? Freaking Claire, let's go with the galaxy. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the galaxy. Thank you guys for all the gifts. I just now noticed your name, Jacob. I cannot with that. Mezzo Jacob, thank you for the freaking gift. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the love. Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. We're going to be having it as soon as we get the t-shirts in from shipping here, we'll have the merch store up and running. I think they're going to be looking good once they get here. I don't see this being an issue once storms get here. Yeah, gate-to-gate wind shear right now looks about 80 from what I was looking at a second ago. About 80 miles per hour. Did I say storms? I meant merge. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Whoops. Whoops. That's okay, though. So storms picked up speed just a little bit here, about 28 miles an hour due east here. So we're getting a little bit closer to like Wood Lake, Valentine. So I think we're starting to see our low-level jet kick up here just a little bit. Let me take a look. What is our mesoscale at here? Let's take a look here and see observations. So these winds are still backed out of the southwest. You get that one little cell up there. So you're low. This storm is almost along the low pressure. I'm going to look at 850 analysis here and see what our low-level jet is, if it loads. Is it 20? Hold on a minute. Where is my... Let me just take a sounding out in front of this. No, I want the hodograph. So winds are backed out of the southwest at 45, right about 45 knots. So we're seeing the wind shear pick up just a little bit. It should start to increase, especially as we go through tomorrow and into tomorrow afternoon. What's up, Teresa? Good to see you. Is there anything for you for the Harmy? I appreciate you. Yeah, so pretty decent hodograph favorability tonight. It's not bad looking. Just kind of an idea there at surface analysis. So this tornado watch is still out till about midnight. So we'll see if this storm makes it near that watch before the watch expires. I did see the one in Ocean, New Jersey yesterday. I was not on stream for it, but I did see it pop up. Yes. That's crazy, Kayla. I love that. That's funny. Yeah, guys, tornado outbreaks don't happen because of climate change. Like, climate change is a legit thing, and I have a lot utmost respect for the whole climate change thing. There's different things with all that. We can have that conversation another day. But tornado outbreaks happen based off of climatology, which is a little bit different than climate change. Also, based off of what your jet stream is doing. That's really the biggest thing. Yeah, I'm going to discuss each day, guys, with y'all. That's my goal. By the way, if you guys have not subscribed to me on... Hold on a second. Nope. Hold on just a minute. If you have not subbed to me over on YouTube, make sure y'all do that, please. Hold on one sec, guys. I gotta fix something here real quick. Babe, what are you doing in the kitchen? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix something here. I'm trying to fix something on my phone, guys. Hold on, hold on. Do. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm almost done. I'm almost done here. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. Pull the chat back up here. All right, so we still got this tornado warning here for about 13 more minutes. Still cranking. Okay. Sorry, I was updating a couple things, guys, on my account that I needed to update. Okay, sorry, y'all. All right, let me get back into this here, shall we? So once again, this is really our only storm that we've got ongoing here that is tornado warned. So once this drops, we'll start to chat about everything else that's going to happen. Kind of go from there. I want this thing gone and out of here. Ooh, babe, I just pulled a marginal tour for us on Thursday. Jenny Purse. Oh, man, y'all. Thank you, Mo, for the heart meat or the hand hearts. I appreciate the gifts. I do. You guys are freaking awesome. See if we got any cameras in here. No, we don't. Okay. All right, let me start to look at some things here. So hopefully we get this tornado warning to expire here in about 9 minutes. That would be super great. Are we still looking at some pretty decent rotation on this? Still got a little bit of rotation, so they'll probably extend this. Probably will extend this. I appreciate you, Mo. I do. Oh, there it is.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
As expected. There's a chance for tornadoes tomorrow in Oklahoma. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. It's a low in chance, but it does exist. So this is getting a little bit closer here towards Valentine and Wood Lake, Nebraska. A little bit closer. Looks like there's 2 areas of rotation on it. Yeah, there is a CC on it. Is Mander still in here, or is she on? Is she working? Mander, are you still in here? Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate it. I can't stand you, Rochelle. I cannot stand you. I cannot right now with you right now. Get out of here with that crap. Oh my gosh. I bet you do love my face. Is Knoxville, Iowa going to get in the red zone? I don't know. I need Manders to answer me in the chat so I know she's existing for a minute. I need to tell her something. Is she still in here? I see her in here, but I don't know if she's listening. Selective hearing. I know. I know she's in here. All of Iowa's not in the red zone tomorrow anymore. No, it's just northern Iowa, but it doesn't matter. You're still enhanced. Omaha, Nebraska's in the enhancers for tomorrow, I believe, is what I saw last. No, absolutely. Please be cautious. Absolutely, 100%. Hold on one sec, y'all.
New information, this tornado warning has been upgraded.
New information. This tornado's been upgraded. Yeah, we saw it was observed like 5 minutes ago. Excuse me. Is that my brother in the chat? No, I want to re-indicate there. Bree, tornado watch means a tornado watch is when conditions are favorable for tornadoes. Tornado warning means there's radar indicator rotation. I just saw your comment. I wanted to make sure that we got that right. Yeah, tornado watch is completely different than a tornado warning. A tornado watch gets issued over a whole area, meaning that it's favorable for tornadoes. Tornado warning means it's you can get a radar indicated tornado warning, which was what we had a minute ago, which means it's warned for rotation. If it's observed, it means it's on the ground. So no worries though. Yep. So this is an observed tornado. This is on the ground. God, it doesn't want to give up. It just keeps recycling. No, you're fine. You're fine. I just wanted to make sure you're good. You know. This is going to be nasty again. I'm getting a little bit concerned about Valentine and Wood Lake out in front of this. I'm not liking the way that this is looking. It won't give up. It looks like there might be actually potentially two here again. Yeah, we might have two. You've got one here and you've got one here. You got them on both. Okay. Um. Golly. So once again, this is a confirmed tornado, guys, on the ground here, moving east along Highway 97. This is headed towards Valentine and Wood Lake. Oh my goodness, babe. All right. Let's go back to reflectivity here and get an idea. All right, yep. So there's still two areas of rotation on this storm. The one here and one here. Like I said, I say that they're here because there's not really an area that this is in. This is, like I said, in the middle of nowhere. So once again, Cherry County, Nebraska seems to be a thing. All right, what did Rose send me? Oh my God, Rochelle Don. I cannot with you right now. Okay. Yeah, this thing continues to be a problem. Like I said, guys, we've been on here for stream for 3 hours, and it's been nothing but watching this storm here. I wanted to give up at this point. I'm over talking about this storm. What's up, Brianna? Good to see you. Yeah, this is an observed tornado, guys. This is observed on the ground doing damage currently. CC a little bit hard to make out here. This is clean air that's embedded within this here, so it may have lifted. I'm not seeing a defined correlation coefficient on this currently, but it doesn't mean it's not on the ground. At least from what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, that's clean air that's in there. That's awesome. That makes me happy to hear, Lisa. I'm happy to hear that. They may have to extend this tornado watch here soon too. This is getting really close to the watch area. Do I think it's going to hit Omaha tomorrow? There's a small chance that Omaha has a couple, an isolated chance at tornadoes tomorrow. Not this storm tonight, though. This shouldn't make it over there. You guys have yeah, you're right outside the marginal risk zone, so I'm not expecting anything too crazy. This is just such an impressive storm. Oh my goodness. Crazy storm. It might, Connor. It's going to be all dependent on ascent and forcing of the dry line. I'm not too certain on that yet. I'm looking at the RFS now, and it's already like downtrended on tomorrow in Minnesota again. So like I said, the models are just, it's really wonky. The HER model didn't even show the storms that are happening right now until about an hour before they initiated, so I'm not a fan of that. No, we're not going to get a high risk tomorrow. It's not going to happen. Chris Broyles, the one who issued the last 2 high risk zones, is not issuing risk zones tonight. All the other SPC forecasters that issue risk zones each night are very conservative with forecasting. I can tell you that just from the known. This will stay moderate. I wouldn't even be shocked to see if the moderate went away, if you really want me to be honest with you, but we'll just have to see what happens in 2 hours. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see it go away. The confidence in these storms is just very, very low. It's a high ceiling but low confidence, so we'll see. That's probably the one time y'all are going to hear me say that. We've had enough high-risk zones this year. We don't need any more. Yeah, low confidence, high ceiling. Sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, they're pretty confident because they issued the moderate risk, but still. So the models are just, they're struggling. Yeah, it is on the ground. It's been observed. Yep, it's definitely been observed. Yeah, this is northeastern Nebraska. Or not northeastern, this is northern Nebraska. Yep, same storm. This storm's been moving about 13 to 20 miles per hour. It's been very slow. Yeah, this thing is still looking gate to gate right now. We've got, hold on, let me zoom in a little bit better here. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm still about 60 in. Yeah, this thing is still cranking. It's just literally driving off of its own inflow boundary or outflow boundary, which is wild. It's a very impressive storm. So the next tornado warning that comes out would be for Valentine, Nebraska, or Wood Lake potentially. 3 confirmed. Not out of one. Not out of this tornado. Like there's been 3. There's been more than, I would say the same storm's produced multiple times. There's not 3 confirmed tornadoes in this though. Yeah, Connor, that's what I was seeing too. I was looking at the 18 or the OOZ that came out a few minutes ago for Tuesday in Oklahoma, and it looks interesting as well. Oh man, y'all, Mizamat's gonna crash out eventually here soon. We're gonna continue to watch this for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna run over resistance with you guys, and then probably call it before midnight tonight so I can get some good sleep. All right, let's zoom back in here on this thing. Yeah, they did upgrade Tuesday to enhanced stress for Pennsylvania and Ohio. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, guys. We're gonna wrap up stream here in just a few minutes. I know we've still got this tornado warning ongoing, but it's almost 10:30, and I want to get risk zones covered with you guys, and then I'm gonna crash because I have to be up super early in the morning to run over things with my storm chasers for tomorrow, so that way they're set up and they're good to go for tomorrow. So we've still got this tornado warning here. This is still in effect until 10:30, so I got about 6 minutes left on this warning. There probably will be an extension just because it is still observed and on the ground. So if you're out in front of this warning here, we are going to have just outside of the southern portions of Valentine and probably Wood Lake to get this storm eventually here at some point. So just be mindful if you're up here in Nebraska. And eventually, this will probably, hopefully, start to weaken as it gets closer into South Dakota here. But other than that, like I said, this is still a pretty nasty storm. Still has a tornado on the ground. So we'll keep going. We'll continue to go over that there. Let's go ahead and talk briefly here about risk zones for the next couple of days, and just kind of get you guys at least knowing what's going on here. We're going to get on here tomorrow morning super early. I'm probably going to be on here around 11:30 to noon tomorrow, so I can walk you guys through the setup as things change, as things happen, all of that yummy, lovely stuff in the weather world there. Let me get this pulled over briefly so you guys can see. All right, let's get away from X there for a second. All right, let's talk about tomorrow's risk zone, just briefly here. Most of you guys know there's a moderate and enhanced and a slight and a marginal risk tomorrow for severe weather. Let me zoom in. There we go. That moderate risk is in place here for southeastern portions of Minnesota. We've got western portions of Wisconsin here. We've also got northern portions. There's that new tornado warning.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Northern portions of Iowa here, and yeah, so this is going to be for strictly tornado-driven risks, and we've got a 15% hatched tornado risk here, meaning the threat for EF2 plus tornadoes, EF3 plus potential tornadoes on the table. This is probably going to wiggle around a little bit, maybe consolidate, maybe move up a little bit, kind of just giving off some of the model runs tonight and some of the data that's going to be coming in. I have two, Connor, which I'm super excited about for tomorrow. So that's the tornado threat there. The enhanced risk also with a strong tornado risk there. That orange shaded area and that enhanced and moderate risk there will have the threat for a couple of strong tornadoes out there tomorrow. Some damaging winds and some large hail. Outside of that things get a little bit more uncertain once we get down here to Texas, Oklahoma, and southern Kansas. It's going to be dependent on if storms can initiate, kind of like today. More of a conditional risk zone in terms of tomorrow's setup. So if you're down here in like Wichita, Oklahoma City, down south, you have a 2 and a 5% tornado risk, also a hatched hail risk and a damaging wind threat. So just be mindful of that. In terms of that, I think all risk zones clearly tomorrow need to have a way to get alerts on your phones, be weather aware. Like I said, we'll be covering this thing from start to finish tomorrow, so I'm not concerned about that in terms of the overall risk. 15% hatched tornado risk tomorrow, 10% hatched, and then 5% and 2% tornado risk. So clearly those hatched areas are where we're thinking the outbreak is more than likely going to happen at if things do in fact go to fruition. We've also got a 30% wind, 15% wind, and 5% wind tomorrow. That is going to be for winds up to 75 miles per hour. If the Storm Prediction Center hatches it tomorrow, if the Storm Prediction Center hatches this tomorrow, then it'll be up to 75 plus miles per hour. And then we've got a hatched hail threat here, 30% and 15% that extends all the way down here from Minnesota, Wisconsin into portions of Oklahoma and Texas. And then outside of that, they're in the hatch, I should say, 2-inch plus diameter hail. Outside of the 2-inch there, we've got 1 to 2 inch diameter hail. So that's where we'll be at for those risk zones for tomorrow. We'll have an update on this early in the morning. I'll have a video out for you guys early in the morning as well. And we'll kind of go from there. The risk zone for Tuesday, they did upgrade to a level 3 enhanced for Rochester, Buffalo, a little bit of a rare enhanced risk up here. Columbus, Ohio, Eastern and Central Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, up towards Rochester. This is a hail-driven risk zone. So this isn't a tornado-driven risk zone. This isn't a wind-driven risk zone. This is a hail-driven risk zone. So the threat for large hail, as of right now, that is at the threat for Tuesday. Outside of that, we have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk there from basically the northwestern portions of, or northeastern portions of New York, all the way down here to Texas here, and there will be a hatched hail risk. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Storm Prediction Center also upgrade Oklahoma and Texas to a level 3 enhanced risk also if conditions do continue to go up, which I think they will. So we'll talk more about that in terms of that going down the road. Probabilities are there, hatched for both areas there, 30 and 15 for hail, and then 15 down south. And then we get into Wednesday and Thursday's risk zones, and we'll talk more about that in tomorrow. So here's kind of a brief overrun on what we could see for tomorrow. The models are all over the place, so this is the main risk zone area for tomorrow. We're going to see supercells fired off after lunchtime tomorrow between maybe 2 and 4 p.m. If these become surface-based, which they probably will be, they'll have the threat for a couple of strong tornadoes, significant damaging winds, some large hail. It looks to be a squall line trying to develop. Like I said, the models are just all over the place. So I really want to wait on showing you guys models until tomorrow morning because there's just really no point. The atmospheric setup is there. The dew points are there. The instability is there. The shear is there. The idea of a potential significant outbreak is on the table for tomorrow. That's basically what I'm getting at. So I really don't have to show models because the models today were just not that great. If I had a better confidence on model runs, I would show you guys, but it's not there. In terms of that. So those are going to be your risk zones for the next 2 days here. Like I said, I expect some changes with this here in about 2 hours. Once this updates, I will have a video out for you guys pretty early tomorrow morning. That's my game plan. We'll go back one more time and we'll look at this tornado warning that's out here. I believe they extended. Where did that warning go? There we go. Yeah, so this is a radar indicated tornado, so it's no longer on the ground. It's radar indicated here, and that's going to be until 11:15 for, I believe that's also Cherry County again, or just outside of Cherry County there. So that's what we've got for you guys there. So yeah, Des Moines will be interesting to watch tomorrow. We'll see if this storm system busts or if it goes, or if it doesn't go. A lot of things to look out for tomorrow. So. But with that being said, guys, it's 10:30. I'm going to wrap up stream here. I appreciate all the love, all the gifts, all the support. I will see you guys back in here for a live stream tomorrow. We'll be covering this thing wall to wall from start to finish as long as need to be here. We'll be getting you guys out the door and ready to go in the morning as well with the forecast. I'll have 2 storm chasers as well tomorrow up in Minnesota and into Iowa, hopefully. Super excited about that. We'll have everything up ready to go. We will see you guys tomorrow, guys. My weather team as well. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all as well for always hopping in here and doing the thing. Y'all are freaking awesome. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.